All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. And this, of course, has got to do with what has unfolded in Poland, where a deadly blast caused by a missile strike has resulted in the deaths of 2 people. Now, the missile is said to have landed about 6.4 kilometers west from the Ukrainian border, roughly the same time as Russia launched its biggest wave of missile attacks on Ukrainian cities. Now, the blast, which was initially blamed on Russia and seen as a significant escalation in the ongoing war, is now being said to have in all likelihood been caused by a Ukrainian air defense systems missile which was misfired. And after an emergency meeting over the blast, NATO's chief Jens Stoltenberg has said that the incident was likely caused by Ukraine's air defense systems, and it was not Ukraine's fault, nor is it Russia's fault, as was being earlier alleged. Now, Jens Stoltenberg further added that there is no indication of a deliberate Russian attack against a NATO ally.
Our preliminary analysis suggests that the incident was likely caused by a Ukrainian air defense missile fired to defend Ukrainian territory against Russian cruise missile attacks. But let me be clear, this is not Ukraine's fault. Russia bears ultimate responsibility as it continues its illegal war against Ukraine.
Now, earlier, American President Joe Biden had also said that the missile which had killed 2 people was probably not fired from Russia. The Moscow has denied the allegation outright, and it has said that it has got nothing to do with the missile that resulted in 2 deaths in Poland.
There is preliminary information that contests that. I don't want to say that till we completely investigate, but it's unlikely in the lines of the trajectory that it was fired from Russia. But we'll see. We'll probably have a meeting of
Now, the Polish president had also earlier said that it was very likely that the missile was in fact from Ukraine's air defense. He added that nothing indicated that this was an intentional attack on Poland and called it an unfortunate incident. Ukraine, for its part, has refuted this. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has in fact put the blame squarely on Russia and has said that an attack on security in the Euro-Atlantic is in fact a significant escalation. The missile landed in a southeastern village just 6.4 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border. Local media reports indicate that the strike also hit a grain drying facility. The Russian military experts claim that they have now identified photographs of the wreckage and claim that the fragments belong to a guided anti-aircraft missile of a Ukrainian S-300 air defense system. Now, Poland is a NATO nation, which is a defense military alliance of about 30 countries, which has explicitly backed Ukraine in this war. The bloc's policy on attack on any one nation is said to be an attack on every one of the NATO allies, and that would have been applicable here. But now it is being said that this missile was in fact an inadvertent accident which most likely resulted from a Ukrainian anti-air defense missile which perhaps lost its way and ended up along the border in Poland. And we were earlier joined by Glenn Grant, who is a security and defense expert at the Ukrainian Institute for the Future. And this, of course, is what he had to say.
Well, I think one should look, before making estimates, one should say very clearly that if Russia had not launched 90 missiles and 10 drones at Ukraine yesterday, then this would never have happened. So the blame lies very firmly with Russia, whatever is decided later, because you don't fire at allies. That's one thing that's quite clear. Originally, the original talk was that there were 2 missiles, and that then there was comment that one of them may well have been a Ukrainian missile that failed to catch the Russian missile. Now people are talking about 1 missile. So it really is, right this moment, it's unclear whether it's a missile from Russia that went to the wrong place, or whether it was an air defense missile from Ukraine. But given the history, if it's a choice of believing Russia or a choice of believing Ukraine, I'm afraid I believe Ukraine in this matter. The NATO response will be different if it was deemed to be a Russian missile that went offline. Then I think it would be if they believed that Russia was actually targeting NATO. I mean, if it is a Russian missile, then we have to look at the idea that what Russia is after is trying to sow discord amongst the NATO partners, and perhaps to get someone like Joe Biden to make a statement that actually takes Russia, absolves them from the blame. And maybe, of course, there might also be linkage with the fact that European Union has just agreed to start doing training for 15,000 Ukrainian soldiers. So all these things are linked, and we really are going to have to wait until we actually see some real hard data to actually find out what's happening. Whatever way, NATO has got to do something, because if it doesn't do something, then it's sending a signal to the rest of the world, its enemies in the rest of the world, that NATO is weak. So there's got to be some positive response of something in the next few days.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.